to the other sheet and then delete it from there.
It's like a form that fills itself out. So we have a Google sheet that has all of the questions that can be asked to Alexa or Google, and all of the answers that it responds with. So as a business owner, if you're like, oh, I want to add in a new frequently asked question like, what are my office hours? Bam, it's in there. Then the answer, bam. That automatically updates to Google and Alexa, and now Samir just added it so that anytime someone says an unanswered phrase, so someone asks a new question like, what year was the company founded? Wasn't answered, so it adds it as a new unanswered question in the Google Sheet in the unanswered tab. Now when the business owner goes in to answer that question, they just fill in the cell to the right, they type in the answer, and then the cell automatically copies it over to the other sheet and then deletes it from the unanswered questions. So
I get it.
So a business owner can just like answer them all. And now I'm thinking in my head, well, what if Columbus Chamber, we can build an intent there that is unanswered questions.
Oh my god.
So we can do it without. You didn't already build it so they can answer with voice, did you?
No, not yet.
Oh,
but
so
now we can do that.
That's what I'm thinking now.
It's so dumb and it's so doable.
We had an intent to the Columbus Chamber answer unanswered questions.
You just have to connect the dots.
So you or
we have everything.
Jordan Miller or RJ Pikus or Patrick Sweetman can launch Columbus Chamber and then say, what are the unanswered questions? And then it'll tell me a question, then I can answer it, and then it'll automatically update the app and deploy the answer.
It exists.
Now, the only thing that, the only playing devil's advocate with that, what if it's a variation of an existing intent that just wasn't handled and routed to the proper intent?
We haven't figured out. That's machine learning algorithm that we have to figure out how to use.
Ooh.
Dude,
Ooh.
I know
Yes.
someone who's studying AI as a doctoral student.
So
Just tell us more. Tell us more.
We met him at Hackney.
okay,
He came to
call
Hackney.
me again?
Yeah, he's in the Chinese Culture Club. He's really cool. He likes
Is
the
this
rockets.
Ernie?
No, not Ernie. He is, forget his name.
Not Chi.
Not cheap.
I want to say Lei Bao, but I think that was one of my teachers.
Well, if you could find him again.
No, Fang. It was Fang. I think it was Fang.
So I woke up at 6
Fan.
and
Positive, it's Fan.
I woke up at 6 and I checked my phone. It was dead, so I plugged it in. I don't know what happened. I woke up, see a text from RJ, meet me at 6:15, 6:30. I'm at RJ's house, picking up RJ. So we were here probably 6:45. When we got here, RJ wanted to test stuff and he wanted to play music, and I wanted to work in silence. So I went and worked in silence for a while, and RJ was very patient about it. And so I worked in silence to add in the capture intent. So I added the capture intent back in, but then when we went to the Columbus Chamber meeting, I had RJ upload it again, so we only had to bring his computer. So the work that I did on the app ended up getting overridden. And then
It's so easy to switch computers now. It used to be so hard, and now I hit a button.
All right, so RJ is the non-technical mind in the room. RJ, why don't you describe what happens, how you can build an app in 2 hours last night? What did Samir build? Like, from your perspective, what is it that Samir created?
I'm just going to tell you what I did last night. So, worked at Condado, and then I got off early, and then I was supposed to be doing a presentation for today, but it was pretty much done. And I was like, I'm just going to sit here and build a voice app. And so I had margarita, and I made a voice app in 2 hours. I would clone the repo, and then edit a couple things.
Like what?
The project.js and like some of the .py files, and then I just hit enter, and then it updates, and then you copy and paste the Lambda and the Alexa skill ID, and then you just hit sh space update dash sheets, and then you hit tab. And then it works. And then, I mean, sometimes you have to debug, like you put a number in one of the prompts or something.
Yeah.
You have to edit that out. But, like, I know all the problems. I know, like, 5 different mistakes I made. And then I'm like, I know the solutions to those 5 mistakes. And it makes everything so much faster.
Do you think it's in a state that Dawn can create an app? Dawn is another,
No.
I would say, non-technical member of voice.
No, I do not think so, because I had to spend a lot of time around you guys, with you guys looking over my shoulder.
Okay.
You know? But that's what I'm saying. That's what they say in podcasts or wherever they say it. That, like, I don't unintentional learnings of being in a physical reality is like increases your bandwidth so much. Like I'm more like you guys than Don will ever be. You know, I'm going at such a faster rate. You know, so
You provide different value. Don is very valuable to our company.
no, yeah, yes. I meant that in a positive way.
So, I mean, the thing is, like, you can take all the list of problems you had, and then we can iterate on that and make it
I'm
quicker and
thinking
faster.
all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build an app. Yes, I thought of that, and I was like, I'm just gonna write down everything I do, every command I type in, I'm just gonna, and the mistakes I make, and then we'll have a big list, and then you'll be like, oh, you just do this, this, and this with Python, and then literally you just close that whole thing up.
Why write when you can just use your voice to write it for you?
Yes, exactly.
We live in the age of voice.
Yeah,
Perfect.
because when Samir is writing,
What?
I'm listening.
so you were able to build the oh yeah. So when Samir just write down like skill ID and everything, then Samir is able to just write a Python script that reads it all, eliminates 3 steps because you are creating the algorithm. You're writing out these are the steps that a physical human currently needs to do. Because as a developer, a lot of the times we're doing greenfield research, so we're just like we're trying a lot of things. Oh, this leads to a dead end. We're exploring different routes of the maze, and then like saying, oh, that's a dead end. So if we write out how to get to the dead end of the maze, it's kind of like, oh well. We're going to be too slowed down drawing out all the dead ends rather than just getting there. So when we get there, we're just like, RJ, get your butt over here. And we're just shouting back at you like, come on, dude, get over here. And then RJ's like, okay, and he tries running, and then he still he hits a couple of the same dead ends that we hit the first time going through. But then he gets there and he's like, now by writing down the steps, it's like, okay, it makes sense for RJ to do it because we have already we've proven that it's possible to get to the end of the maze. Now we just need RJ to like
echoes.
He just has to get to the echoes and then write down, draw that map. Because once we draw the map, then we can say, oh, well, why didn't we take this shortcut in the first place? And then we start to draw the shortcut, and then RJ brings along Dawn, and then Dawn makes it up to us, and Dawn.
Yes, I think I might have found a bug in Jovo because it was.
There are a lot of them. But go ahead.
I think like that's.
We love
the
you,
thing.
Jovo.
No. We love Jovo. Jovo, you're heroes. Like seriously. No, listen though.
All hail
Like,
Jovo.
I am at a level of understanding that I'm like, this is a bug.
What?
My webhook was changing. There was a little. I literally copy and pasted my webhook, and it changed in the Alexa Dev Console when it shouldn't have.
Well,
And like it was.
so that might not have been Jovo. That might have been my Python script that I might have to check out. It's possible when it's copying and pasting, it might be that issue. So that could not entirely be Jovo's fault.
Okay.
It could be my Python script.
Yeah.
Something to check.
Either
out.
one though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it written down on my board. I just haven't gotten to checking that yet because it's kind of low on my priority.
If you see it change again, take a screenshot of it being different, and then we will.
But I can't go back in
again.
time. That's the problem.
So if it never, do you think it'll happen again in the future?
Well. It might. We'll see.
Right.
It might have been my mistake. Yeah.
If it
I am 50% sure that was Jovo's fault.
Because I haven't hit that error yet, and I don't know if Pat's ever hit that error, so it could just be like an operating system issue.
Are you trying to tell me that I'm dumb?
No,
this is about guys.
I want you to take a screenshot.
This whole podcast
Trust
was
but
just
verify.
a setup right now.
No, because
I'm totally kidding. That was a joke.
What I'm saying is it could be an operating system thing, because like
Okay.
Pat uses Linux, I use Windows, and I use Linux sometimes too, and so we don't hit that error, and you're the only one that uses Mac OS.
Okay.
So it could be a Mac OS issue. So if we find another Mac OS that gets that same issue, then we will know better what the problem is. So
Hell yeah.
there's that.
Dude, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write down what I type, what I see. And then I'm gonna probably write a lot of 4-letter words, and then I'll keep going, with the process. Maybe I'll throw something, and then I'll be able to read again. I get so pissed that I can't read the screen. I'm like, but you just have to sit there.
Increase the font, or you can't read the errors yet.
I'm so mad I can't look at the computer. I'm like, oh my god. I'm sitting in this chair, I'm pissed. I'm like, I can't leave this chair. I'm not hungry. I'm not tired. I'm not anything. Like, I'm getting this done. I'm pissed. I'm more pissed at it not being done than I am about it like taking forever.
So you said you were working on the Pandadas app last night?
It took me 2 hours. Yeah.
Okay, so you're the reason I was hitting the API error when I was loading
because you
my
didn't know what was going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was like, why am I hitting an API error? So I spent an hour.
Why were you?
I think it was the functions we created. I think that was the reason. So
What
I
were you
ended up doing
working-
the
what were
same
you
thing
working
I did for models.py. I created dictionaries out of all those things.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
That took me an hour to do. Because
Cool.
it was-
So now we
yeah.
shouldn't hit the API limit. with
No,
that.
I haven't hit it
7
today at
o'clock.
all. So
7 o'clock. Was that when you were doing it?
yeah, 7, 8-ish. That was when I was working on it.
That's funny. That's why it would probably slow me down then. Like, we were probably just, like, going back and forth.
So we woke up, we showed up here, we were testing, build out the presentation, we went to the Columbus Chamber of Commerce, we met with first we met this nice lady, Tracy. Tracy works at the front desk of the Columbus Chamber of Commerce.
Sweetheart.
Tracy showed us this awesome coffee machine, also made tea. So we take these little tea packet, it looked like a regular tea
Yeah.
packet.
Oh, is it one of those Nestle Nespresso
They weren't
things?
plastic, though. No.
I know.
They weren't plastic, it was
Yeah.
entirely cloth. You set
And
it,
you
so you
press
press,
it.
first you tap T, and then you tap the strength, and then it like magically opens up this little compartment, and you just put your little disc on there, and then you hit go, and then it shuts it, and then it brews your old tea, and then when RJ comes up, it does this little magic trick where when it opens, you expect to have to take out your packet.
But it takes it out.
It's
yeah.
gone. I don't know where it goes
Yeah.
to. Apparently it hides it in some like trash can universe.
I definitely like Ezra making me a latte better than that. Like,
No, but-
Ezra's the fucking man. Dude, so this is what Ezra does. Talk about finesse, okay? This kid runs the fucking co-working space. And he's sitting there, and he knows the Columbus Chamber of Commerce Business Development representative, and he knows the voice company. And he's like, maybe you guys should talk. Then we meet here in the conference room, in these very chairs. He's like, you guys want a latte? And so he just throws some espresso in there, gets us excited, exchange some ideas. We make an app, we go to the meeting, we have a $5,000 membership to the Columbus Chamber of Commerce now.
That's exciting.
Ezra finessed his ass.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sit down, it worked, meeting went well.
Yeah. It was sick.
It just went well. They liked the meeting. Immediately they went and talked to the CEO about it.
Yeah. The one thing I was like, I don't know if I'm selling it enough. I don't know where I'm at. Like, we demoed it, and they were looking at each other, and they were like nodding, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is legit. We're here. But I still was like kind of selling this. But then we went to meet with the CEO of a cybersecurity company.
Yes.
Literally right after, he was waiting for us as we get off the elevator.
And I liked that, so it launches the entire bot experience using the QR code. And I was wondering, because Google gives us a little link that associates it with our assistant.
Mhm.
I don't know if Alexa does. I don't think they give us a link. Like with Google, if you tap the link on your phone, it will
Yes.
automatically launch the assistant on your phone. Or if you tap it, if you click and send a device on the computer, it'll automatically launch it on your Hub or on your Google Home or your Google Home Mini. So if we can have a link that is a QR code at dry cleaners checkouts, so that way when they take a picture of the link, it opens up their Google Assistant right there. Bam, welcome. Want to get your account set up? I see that because they have.
You know that your mom has Messenger on her phone because she's addicted to Facebook, and she does not know how to not have Messenger on her phone. Because if we deleted off our phone or whatever, we don't have Facebook anymore, it's like a distraction. But everyone's mom or dad who uses Drive is on Facebook. That's their bread and butter. Like, our target market is there. We see it. You know?
They already know what a Facebook bot is, and they're willing to use it because I think Facebook bots are pretty well. People are used to.
But my
automated
mom has
chats.
no conception of
When
Facebook.
they're messaging Facebook, it's like, okay, I could be talking to a human, I could be talking to a robot, I don't know, and I don't make
I
any
always ask, are you a
assumptions.
human?
Whereas in person, when I'm talking to a physical Alexa device or to my phone, I'm comparing. Kahan's lady friend was talking about it during her thing. She was like, it was weird for my first time interacting with Alexa because when I was talking, I was kind of expecting to be talking to a person, but I saw that it was a robot.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're messaging on Facebook, you have no idea if the person on the other end is a computer or a robot, or a human or a computer. So you just you talk to both kind of the same. So a Facebook bot or a Slack bot, I think, might be more accessible to people. And with our framework, it doesn't take us any extra work.
Yeah.
So we can
It's
provide.
money.
So first, I want
to go back. What were you doing with Kahan at a business meeting, and they were talking business, and they're artists, and you came over, and what were you doing with the Alexa? What was that whole story?
Our ancestors speak with Khalil and Kahan and.
No, I know. Yes. So
is
why
that
did you?
it?
Yes. Why did you go? I'm saying explain why you were doing that. What is the benefit? What was your sprinkle?
Cool.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, my sprinkle. So my sprinkle was to get 20 recorded beta interviews
With our
dry cleaning, one of our dry cleaning partners, Dublin Cleaners.
hooked to a POS system.
Hooked to.
In the process of being more hooked,
Yes.
but they need to.
You guys, I gotta show you guys. Dawn's been sending me the videos that she's made around those beta videos. So she has, it looks like a massive marketing video. It has our Alexa icon up in the top right of the video.
Fire.
And in the top left, when certain people are sitting, she pops up future professional, young professional, or when Abe's sitting here giving some fire feedback.
Yep.
It's says that it saves time for businesses.
Yep. Boom.
And
Recording.
it just
Ba-boom, ba-boom,
it does
boom.
it's just a montage.
Yup.
Yeah.
And it throws
reasons.
the entire, there's a bar along the bottom the entire time,
Yes.
voicedrycleaner.com.
Yes. So these beta test videos.
So the beta test videos.
Why are we doing them?
We
What's the
needed to
benefit?
get user testing. We need to actually see how a user is interacting with the things that we are creating, so that we are not technicians sitting in a closed door building something that nobody wants. We are trying to get feedback as fast as possible, so that we can fail fast, make improvements, and learn from them even faster, which is definitely happening. We're getting feedback.
And keep it simple.
And we're keeping it simple. So we, the process is, I documented our beta test process is we have an unscripted interview, a scripted interview,
As soon as you answer it, copies it to the other sheet and then deletes it from there.
It's like a form that fills itself out. So we have a Google sheet that has all of the questions that can be asked to Alexa or Google, and then all of the answers that it responds with. So as a business owner, if you're like, oh, I want to add in a new frequently asked question, like, what are my office hours? Bam, it's in there. Then the answer, bam. That automatically updates to Google and Alexa. And now Samir just added it so that
It just copies it directly to.
so anytime someone says an unanswered phrase, so someone asks a new question like, what year was the company founded? Wasn't answered, so it adds it as a new unanswered question in the Google Sheet in the unanswered tab. Now when the business owner goes in to answer that question, they just fill in the cell to the right, they type in the answer, and then the cell automatically copies it over to the other sheet and then deletes it from the unanswered questions. So
Now I get it.
So a business owner can just answer them all. And now I'm thinking in my head, well, what if Columbus Chamber, we can build an intent in there that is unanswered questions.
They do your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
So we can do it without. You didn't already build it so they can answer with voice, did you?
No, not yet.
Oh,
But
so
now we can do
that's what I'm thinking now.
It's so dope and it's so doable.
We had an intent to the Columbus Chamber, answer unanswered questions.
You just have to connect the dots.
So you
That's
or
it. We have everything.
Jordan Miller or RJ Pikus or Patrick Sweetman can launch Columbus Chamber and then say, what are the unanswered questions? And then it'll tell me a question, then I can answer it, and then it'll automatically update the app and deploy the answer.
Yes. It exists.
Now, the only thing that the only playing devil's advocate with that, what if it's a variation of an existing intent that just wasn't handled and routed to the proper
that is something we
intent.
haven't figured out. That's machine learning algorithm that we have to figure out how to use.
Ooh,
Dude,
ooh.
I know someone
Yes.
who's studying AI as a doctoral student. So
Just tell us more. Tell us more.
We met him at Hack Night.
Okay.
He came to
Hack
Hack Night.
Night.
Yeah, he's in the Chinese Culture Club. It's really cool. He likes
Is
the
this
rockets.
Ernie?
No, not Ernie. He is. I forget his name.
Not Chi.
Not cheap. But I saw that it was a robot.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're messaging on Facebook, you have no idea if the person on the other end is a computer or a robot, or a human or a computer. So you just you talk to both kind of the same. So a Facebook bot or a Slack bot, I think, might be more accessible to people. And with our framework, it doesn't take us any extra work.
Yeah.
So we can
It's
provide.
money.
So first, I
I
want
want
to
to go back. What were you doing with Kahan had a business meeting and they were
about however you think is natural or whatever feels right. .com.
So these beta test videos.
So the beta test videos.
Why are we doing that?
We needed to get user testing. We need to actually see how a user is interacting with the things that we are creating, so that we are not technicians sitting in a closed door building something that nobody wants. We are trying to get feedback as fast as possible, so that way we can fail fast, make improvements, and learn from them even faster.
Yeah.
Which is definitely happening.
We're getting feedback and keep it simple.
And we're keeping it simple. So we, the process is, I documented our beta test process is we have an unscripted interview, a scripted interview, and then we ask a couple feedback questions. So the unscripted interview, what that is it's you just give them the phrase to launch the app, which is for us, Alexa, run Dublin Cleaners. Hacked. Every podcast listener's phone just got hacked if they're listening to it. Okay. Then I say interact with the bot however you think is natural or whatever feels right.